Good evening. This is the regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners, Housing Authority of St. Charles Parish, Tuesday, April 27th. The time is now 6:03. I call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, seeing that we have a quorum here this evening, we'll go ahead and review the minutes for the March 30th, 2021 meeting. Any board discussion?
I think I just moved one small paragraph.
You want to unmute your...
Something very minor. It's the simplest typographical error that it can be. The very last page, last sentence. I think that extra E at E probably doesn't belong.
Okay. All right, any other discussion?
With that, Mr. Chair, I approve the minutes as presented.
With the change?
With the change, yes, sir.
All right, we have a motion to approve the minutes with the change. Do we have a second? We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
That motion carries. Ms. Hollis, update on agency. Oh, no, excuse me, financial report. Low rent. Any board discussion on the low rent portion of our financial report?
We received approval from the Department of Housing and Urban Development to draw down the shortfall money that was awarded to us, a total of $92,000. We can access half of it, which is going to, again, increase our
Okay. Any other discussion?
No, not on the low rent.
All right, do we have a motion to accept the low rent report into the record?
Mr. Chair, I make a move that we accept the low rent financials as presented.
Do we have a motion made? Do we have a second?
I second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
That motion carries. HCVP financials, any board discussion?
And with that, you mean the Section 8?
Section 8, yes.
Okay. I do, and I'm just going to bring it up, and if we later get an answer, that's fine. If you would go in your Section 8, the general ledger, page 5 of 7. And you guys know me, I just go picking at numbers and looking. If something catches my eye, I ask. It says St. Charles Parish Housing Authority General Ledger, financial periods March 21 to 21. Page 5 of 7. I'm just going to bring this up, and if we don't get the answer tonight, I mean, I know the accountant is not here. Just following and tracing checks. If you look at the first check number 258, I was able to trace that check through, bank accounts and several different places it was posted.
Uh-huh.
The following check number 771, I found it, but I just noticed that there were different amounts. One place it was posted at $99. In the low rent section, it was posted as $1,095.40. I'm just putting it out there, and if I don't get that answer tonight, that's fine. But just me, again, I do read through these, and since we have a much better and easy...
What is that check for?
Well, I just know it was for training. So I just started to find out. Let me trace...
Was that a check that was split between both programs? Or?
I don't know. We would have to physically pull the check.
Okay.
And I know that detail might not be for tonight's meeting, but I just want to put it out there and just get maybe in the next meeting or something, just get some follow-up.
Yeah, it does, based upon those check numbers, it does look like one of those checks are for the Section 8 portion of the training, and the other one would be for public housing.
So part of the check is recorded on one ledger and part of it's recorded on the other.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, we've seen that before with...
Yes, it's quite common.
It's the way that we allocate. But we'll pull those checks.
So the check has a total amount, but then when you record it on the ledger for low rent, you record the portion of that check that's spent from the low rent funds out of that ledger?
Right.
That sounds reasonable, but even when I went to that... I don't know. When I went to that check, it seemed to be something that was written on to
We'll verify it for
one
sure.
of the credit cards or something. Like I said, I don't know that we're gonna get that answer tonight, but I just wanted to bring it up. So, Ms. Hollis, if just in the future that.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, and I did notice that in another place too, where it was two separate.
Yeah, there are certain bills that we allocate.
Yeah.
A percentage come from low rent, a percentage come from HCV, depending on what the training is and who's participating in the training. If it's HCV staff, like Yolanda and Brandy do a lot of training together because everyone is cross-trained, but we would have to pay for that training out of both accounts. But we'll pull that, verify.
Okay. It, again, just caught my attention, and when I can't figure it out in my head, I do ask. So.
I also want to make note that you guys notice that Anna puts an analysis, a summary, in the front of each of the financials for you now.
Yes, ma'am. And I say it's much easier to read and follow than what we used to have, so I can follow it now. And that's when sometimes when I can't follow, a question comes to my head, and if I can't figure it out at home, I ask.
That's the appropriate thing to do.
All right, any further discussion? All right, seeing none, do we have a motion by the board?
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept the financials as presented with a little follow-up coming from Ms. Hollis and maybe by next month, but accept them as presented with that follow-up.
We'll have it in the email to you by tomorrow.
All right, thank you. So we have a motion to accept the financials as written with follow-up on the question from the commissioner. Do we have a second? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. All right, update on agency, Ms. Hollis.
Low rent HCV, Brandy.
Good evening, everyone. For our HCV program, at this time, we have currently 3 people who have ported out of the agencies and are looking for housing, 1 in Texas and 2 in Mississippi. We have currently 2 port-ins, and we have 3 port-ins that are leased up. We have another 2 people who are coming from Jefferson Parish and Grand Prairie, Texas. Those are both searching in our parish for housing. At this time, we only had 1 voluntary end of participation for the month of March. That person decided they were no longer in need of the voucher assistance. For our HAP payments for the month, we had $179,733. For our outgoing portability, we had $341.25 to Charlotte and $804.25 to St. Bernard. Our incoming portability payments were $5,172.74, and from Kenner we received $18,1250. And currently we have not housed anybody from our waiting list because at this time we are still determining if our funds are.
I'll interject here. We have been given permission to start leasing up again. So we're going to, but we only have 26 people left on our waiting list. So next month, we're going to do an advertisement and open up our waiting list for St. Charles Parish. We're also getting an increase in funding and vouchers.
Yeah, but you said you have 26 people on the waiting list.
Yes.
Do you have enough housing to put the 26 people in now?
Well, we have to work that. We've always had to go out and recruit landlords. So we're gonna have to start participating in the real estate arena again.
Well, why open it up if
You
there's...
turn your mic on.
Why open it up if there's no housing to... Why put them all on this waiting list and open that up if there's nowhere to put them, nowhere to place them?
Because we are required to lease up. We have a total of 107 vouchers right now. We have 107. It's not because they can't find. We've not had that problem in the last 2 years. But since COVID, we have not been leasing up. In addition to that, we had exceeded our budget. Even though we have 373 vouchers, it doesn't mean we have a budget to accommodate that. Mm-hmm. It's based on the activity. But based on our previous activity, our budget has increased, and we're going to get additional vouchers. So our job is to find people and issue those vouchers, and also encourage landlords to participate in the program. That's one of the reasons I came to the board and asked you guys to move our payment up to 110% of fair market. So we're paying much better too.
Okay.
And if need be, we could appeal to HUD to go up to 120% to give landlords incentives to participate.
So just to be clear, so now that funding is there and everything, we are gonna go and search for landlords and try to accommodate
and
not just the 26, but whatever our budget can afford.
That is correct. That is the mission of the ACV program.
Any additional discussion? Ms.
I'll
Hayes?
go on to public housing. We haven't had any changes in public housing at this time. Our occupancy rate has remained steady. We have 72 units currently leased and 57 units that are vacant and slated to Vermont under the streamline conversion. Well, they all are.
Right.
But,
Right.
yeah.
It's kind of it would be a waste of money to try and address the mod scenario based on the fact that we're going to be doing a major renovation.
So everybody that we were gonna move or whatever, everybody is moved and settled until we start the streamline conversion?
No, we still have some tenants in the back of Hornville that will have to be relocated, but it's going to be a part of the activity in the conversion process.
Oh, gotcha. All right, so that'll be part of the planning. Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
Very good.
All right. Mr. Taylor,
Yes, sir.
update on maintenance.
As far as the maintenance, we need to discuss our pet policy. Or dogs and stuff like that is starting to get a little ridiculous.
No, we have a pet policy. We actually have a pet policy. I found it a couple of months ago.
Okay.
So it's always been there. We just need to enforce it.
Yeah.
So we did address that situation, right? Yeah, we have to enforce it.
Can we include the pet policy in the next board meetings packet so the board
So you
members
guys
are
can see
aware?
it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would
we
like
can.
to see it, yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah,
AC,
we're replacing. Yeah, we have to replace our AC unit.
For the
We've gotten
office?
3 quotes. Yeah, we've gotten 3 quotes. It's dead. It's dead. We've gotten 3 quotes. I think the one that we are going with is about $10,000.
not
10,000, that's the one I chose.
Yeah, 10,300,
Yeah, and that was the cheapest. The most expensive was 15,
Yeah,
15,000.
Okay.
but it's done, it's completed now.
They're starting, they've already started. Oh, it's done?
Yes, ma'am.
It's with this.
It is done.
Great.
It's good, you're working with professionals, huh?
Got it just in time for summer.
Yeah.
Right, huh?
Yes.
Very good.
Past 2 days, Conservation Environment Specialist was at the agency checking our records for us keeping up with the master meter gas system and stuff like that. We passed with flying colors. We had no problem with that. The only thing they found that we have been doing wrong for years that they never let us know about, that I have to be qualified for a sniff test, to do the sniff test. We've been doing the sniff test for over 20 years since I've been there. They just told me today that I have to be qualified. There's a class you have to take to do it. So, spoke to Ms. Hollis, I'll be signing up for the class, so we'll be legit on that.
Okay.
For just clarity, when you say master meter stiff, you're saying that's just 1 meter for the entire?
Yes, sir. One meter feeds the whole complex.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's one of our bills.
Yeah, okay.
So, our MENAR at this particular time is 1.008. I did share that we're going to pull down the shortfall money, which is going to bring our MENAR up even more. Our UMP is a negative 2,000. We did our 2-year tool. We completed our 2-year tool, and based on the activity and the rate that we paid that money down, we are projected to end this year, this physical year, with a positive $83,480. We have resolved and paid back the DHAP. That was the $175,000 that was spent. That situation has been resolved. So we have taken care of all of our deficiencies, with the exception of the $605,000. But we know how we're going to pay that back.
Wait, say that again? Didn't hear you.
The deficient, we have fines up to $605,000 from 2014. So we're gonna retire that debt with the development fees we earn from the voluntary conversion. To date, we have $59,000 in our low rent account. We have $271,000 in our HCV account. All of this month bills are paid. So next month we still have our new draw to do. So that's again going to help us with our MENAR. And I was able to draw down the CFP resources that Anna talked about at the last meeting. You guys remember she talked about that? I was able to draw that down.
Okay.
And that is it. We're in a holding pattern until I get the certification signed. We cannot submit our application, which is complete, and I cannot submit the 5-year annual plan.
So the next question is, what's the process to getting this certification signed? What do we need to do as the board? What type of meeting do we need to have? Who do we need to get in front of?
The administration. Parish president would be the person who would sign it. For some reason, he's not comfortable signing it, not because...
Talk to you about?
I met with him, but the parish attorney, Mr. Raymond, suggests that we communicate with HUD to get clarification as it relates to why they should sign it. So I did get an email. I got 2 emails, one from Christina, who used to be our specialist, who stated that the jurisdiction, the parish, St. Charles Parish, signs it. I have also reached out to the state, and the state came back to me and then told me it's the jurisdiction. So a paralegal from the parish attorney's office did call me on yesterday, and I followed her a couple of more emails. But you guys are welcome to talk with them and find out what their comfort is. The 5-year annual plan is literally done every 5 years. It's standard. It's not. It's only saying that we are in compliance with the parish president.
Yeah, the document essentially, in a nutshell, basically just says the parish has no objection to our 5-year plan. That we're not doing anything in conflict with what the parish is doing. And it's just a certification, and HUD requires it. It's a federal form. They require it from the local jurisdiction. It's been signed before, so it's just new.
When you say it's been signed before,
Every
with
five,
previous
Parish
administrations.
right.
yeah.
So it's just a matter of new administration getting all the information, so that way our parish president will feel comfortable, understanding what the purpose of the form is, and that he can then sign it.
Yeah, and I did point out in the meeting, I shared with them the federal register that they need to read is literally on that form. So they could go to the federal register and read it and interpret as to why it needs to be signed by the jurisdiction.
Ms. Hollis, can I just ask that particular process what we're talking about now, would you keep us updated if it's every week or something, whatever?
Well,
And
absolutely, but I hope it doesn't take weeks.
I got you, understand, and I was gonna just follow up, and with Miss Marilyn being our ex officio on the board, just kind of ask her if she would personally take up some follow up on that also.
So my next question was, well, how do you feel about having a meeting with our parish president and Ms. Hollis and myself and the board, whoever needs to be there?
Yeah,
Our attorney, whatever, his attorney, whatever.
I think Ms. Hollis, myself, and you, we can schedule a meeting. I know the parish president has been very responsive to our agency, and we have a good working relationship with his administration. So this is just, I think it's a technical hurdle that we have to overcome, and by sitting down in a meeting, I think we can go a long way.
And in our meeting, was that last week, Brandy? In our meeting, we also had Joan to provide a copy of the parish consolidated plan, so that the new administration could have opportunity to review it.
So, do you want to take the initiative
To set up a meeting?
coordinate that? Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there.
Awesome. Our application, again, has been completed for a couple of months now. In order to save time, because we've lost time with this 5-year annual plan process, our development partner has literally paid to have our environmental review updated. They've paid for the appraisal. They've paid for the, of course, we're going to have to reimburse all of that. They've paid for the environmental. They've paid for all the pre-development activity that needs to occur, with the exception of the architect and engineer. They are literally in the process of putting together the tax credit application. So the moment we submit our stuff, when we get our part done, we're ready to go. Everybody's waiting on us. We're in a holding pattern.
Ms. Hollis, do we have copies from previous administrations where they have signed?
I don't.
Or is that something that HUD has a copy of?
HUD does it, and that's what they don't keep it. But I you know what I did not check? I didn't check that portable drive. The thing.
And
the
I'll go
drive.
back and I don't know how far back my records go from the board, but I'll go back and check through my stuff as well.
Do you remember anything about it, Delario?
I can't say that I recall.
I'm going to talk to Julia, because Julia was on the board a while, and she said she'd be more than willing to come to the meeting with us as well, because I've been conversing with her about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
that
it's
the
their,
parish
it's their
president has-
standard form for the local jurisdiction to certify, so. All right, I just thought if we could find, a previous form from the last 2 or 3 administrations where we show a record of it being signed, that would help.
Right.
Yeah, that would have been nice. That would have been helpful for me.
I know, the agency's a lot better at keeping records now than they have been in years past, so. All right, any additional comments or discussion? Right?
Yeah. You said any additional, right?
Yeah.
So, Miss Meir has been calling me, and she said she talked to, I think, Yolanda And she said Yolanda did help her with because we talked about this last meeting. And she was having issues with getting her properties, I guess, reevaluated to get an increase in the amount of funds that she receives monthly for her rental property. And she said Miss Yolanda did help her, but it still didn't come up to the amount that's on our paperwork.
What she's requesting exceeds what we could pay her.
She's requesting what?
We gave her the max. She's requesting more than we can give her.
Okay.
It's a 2-bedroom unit.
She has a 2-bedroom.
Yeah. So we increased it to market. She has market, but that's regulated.
Okay.
You just can't request, I want a certain dollar amount. It's regulated. But what she can do in a year is come back to us and ask for an increase.
Okay, because she had informed me that she wasn't getting the maximum amount that she could get.
She is, in fact, getting
Okay.
the max.
On all of her properties, or she?
I
think she
just know
said
it was
just
more
one.
than, no. How many does she have?
I think she said 3. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if we adjust the other 2.
What is it? I believe Yolanda did speak with Engineer, and I think they all have been adjusted. I think there was an issue at one time when couldn't do it in the middle of a leasing year, like if it's a year-to-year lease. So she had to wait for that person's recertification date in order for the increase to go through.
For the other 2?
Yeah.
No, we can make that adjustment. They all have been adjusted now?
As far as I know.
I'll
She
confirm
said,
and
but
give you follow-up.
I think she said they all have been adjusted, but they're not the same amount. They're all different.
Because remember, they're in different zip codes. It depends on where they are, and it also depends on the tenant.
Okay.
It also depends. We have a 40% threshold.
Because she said she would be watching tonight to see.
So, Ms. Hollis, you'll follow back up with that and make
I
sure
would most definitely.
that
But
she's
Yolanda
getting
and I
the
talk.
right amount.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else? I do see we have a resolution for, I guess this was from the February meeting.
That's from the February meeting. For the summer, the school board paid they purchased internet cards for our kids. In our CARES Act, we were to reimburse them. We wound up having a procurement issue because we couldn't just write a check to another government agency. So the solution HUD came up with is that we do a cooperative endeavor. Based on a cooperative endeavor, then we can reimburse them for what they spent in June and in July. The resolution is to give me authority to sign that agreement. It's in the back. You have a
So
copy?
are you asking us to reauthorize this one,
No,
or
no,
are you?
no. That's not
The
right.
cooperation agreement this is the original.
Oh,
The
okay, got it.
cooperative
Behind
endeavor
Yes.
agreement is what this resolution entails.
The operation agreement is just good information for you guys to keep
Do we
in your
have a couple
file.
minutes just to go through it right quick?
Sure.
So, just my comment, I'm in favor of adopting this resolution. It's It's the resolution adopting cooperative endeavor with St. Charles Parish Schools. We have it titled wrong on top.
I'll make that correction.
So it should be resolution agreeing to enter into a cooperative endeavor with St. Charles Parish Schools, whereas Housing Authority agrees to provide internet services for its school-age tenants. The Housing Authority of St. Charles Parish Board of Commissioners grants permission to Executive Director Leatrice Hollis to execute the cooperative agreement between St. Charles Parish Schools and St. Charles. That should say St. Charles Parish Schools and St. Charles Parish Housing Authority, correct? In the
Yes.
last paragraph?
Yes.
By passing Board Resolution 23-21 as outlined in the attached document that the Commissioners are now reading. So, Ms. Hollis, if you can make those two changes on the finalized resolution.
Yes, but we're gonna vote, right?
And do we have a motion?
Question right quick?
Sure.
This particularly, and I'm sure this is what we are, the housing authorities. I think I know the answer, but I'm going to ask anyway. So this particularly is us providing funding for our housing authority areas.
For our kids.
Our kids, I got you on that. What I'm getting at is, me living in I'm going to say a low-income neighborhood, it doesn't do anything out of the side of the housing area.
We can't spend, we can only spend our money on our tenants.
I understand that, and I know that's where we're coming at. I guess what I'm just trying to put out there that, St. Charles Parish Schools, because I'll be quite blunt. I've had neighbors' kids come and ask if they could use my Wi-Fi to do homework and stuff, so. And I know that we are a housing authority, so if St. Charles Parish could help out wherever they can, just getting internet. And I know it's a big thing in the country and all of that stuff, but and I do support this, and I'll go forward with it. But there are kids who are not in housing authority areas that don't have access to internet.
You sitting on side of a councilwoman right there.
Does the hotspot work outside of the housing authority?
It's not a
Or
hot, it's not a
band?
hotspot. It's not a hotspot, and we intentionally didn't do a hotspot. It's a
Okay.
card with a filter, so mama can't use it, the neighbors can't use it. They can
Gotcha.
only use it to access schoolwork.
It technically is a hotspot, but it's a very specific. Defined.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but that $1.9 trillion have broadband. That's a part of that's the infrastructure. So let's hope we could we could get broadband.
And I know it's for housing authority, but I thought it was just a good opportunity to put it out there. There are other students
right.
Well, the
in
school
neighborhoods.
board, the school system is providing laptops with the the school is providing that currently to the
okay.
students.
They bring them home?
This
They
was
sure
during
do.
this was during the
Okay.
summer and during the shutdown. This is summer months.
But I think it's for certain students who are
Low income.
low income, but it's also, I want to say students that, it was that e-learning or something like that they call,
Yes.
whatever they call it. And those are the ones who bring home their laptops. Because, like you said, all the kids don't have them.
Maybe this might be a question for my school board member, huh?
You're right.
Okay. But it just made me think. We always reaching out to the total community as much as we can. But I do support
But
this for sure.
we gonna be able to do that when we become a nonprofit. They got
But this
right
is a good
days
thing,
coming.
though.
This is a very good thing. Mr.
so-
Chairman, you ready for res?
Any additional discussion on this resolution? All right, seeing none, noting the changes that we mentioned before, I'd like to move for a motion to adopt resolution number 23-2-21. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
The motion carries. All right, any additional, items that need to be addressed this evening?
That's it.
All right, seeing none, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Public comment, it was asked. I know there's nobody there, but,
Have you guys visit the website, the new website?
no, I was not able to find, I found the old one. Did you do something new?
We have a whole new website, yeah.
And when I look it up, just looking it up generally on the internet, it takes me to the old one.
Do you have a name of the, who created your website?
Some guy in India.
You,
Pedra, it's Debbie, what's Debbie's, company name? Debbie Stack. Digital Ascension.
Digital Sensing?
You said Ascension?
And she's completing now, Mr. Bailey. She's completing the landlord portal. Our tenant portal is completed.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. You said digital?
Digital Ascension.
ACENSION?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So if I looked it up through that, it might get me.
Oh, no, that's the contractor name.
Okay.
But for the Housing Authority website, all you have to do is put in SCP as in St. Charles Parish, housingauthority.com.
Oh, okay.
and if you're still showing the old version of the website after doing that, clear out your internet cache.
Yeah, because it just came straight on up for me.
Okay, because I gotcha. Because I kept getting the old ones, and I forgot to ask you about that. So.
We have all your pictures up there.
And Digital Ascension's the contractor.
The contractor.
All right, anything else? All right, do we have a motion for adjournment?
Mr. Chair, I move that we adjourn.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
A second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, this meeting's adjourned, time 6:40.
I need 2 signatures.